Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
Hey Siri, what emotions am I feeling right now? You can't hear her, but she says, I'm not sure I understand. And I'm not sure I understand either. Welcome to Game Over Calgary. Yeah, that was a win. A lot of people in my mentions saying, hey, it must be game over when Auddie's hosting because the Flames are inevitably going to come back and lose this game. After going up by 5 goals, the Dallas Stars just about come back and complete the comeback. I digress. Welcome to Game Over Calgary. Thanks for stopping by. Going to be a good one. We got a good show lined up for you today here on the SDPN Sports YouTube channel. Think you know what way it's going to go? Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of our many prop bets. And hey, you probably would have had good odds going into the third period if you bet on Dallas to come back. They didn't do it, but you would have had some pretty damn good odds, I would imagine. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus, please. Play responsibly. And if you or anybody you know has any gambling issues, please be sure to reach out and get some help. There are some services and information in the show notes if you do so need to check those out. But before we go too far into breaking this thing down, I got a good guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SDPN. Welcome to Game Over Calgary, Mr. OGKevinBacon. How you doing, brother?
Man, doing great. Thanks for having me. I could be doing a little bit better, but, we're
buddy,
good, feeling good.
Buddy, it could have, I kid you not, when I was asking how I was feeling, I don't know how I'm feeling. I genuinely don't know how I'm feeling after that. That was, I don't know how much Flames hockey you watch in a year. It's probably, not a whole, and you know what? I don't watch a whole lot of the Stars either. We aside from last year's playoffs, we had quite the matchup there. But that would the Flames struggle to score goals. They finally come into a game where they score 6, and that's still almost not enough to get the job done. Fuck, man.
I mean, neither of us should feel good about that, right?
I guess the saving grace for Calgary is that it wasn't Jake Ottinger in net.
Yeah, I mean, but do you think that going into the locker room the vibes are high, or even going into another game, do you think the momentum after almost absolutely having a monumental meltdown, is the momentum going on into the next game the same as just walking out winning by 2 or 3?
Man, how could it be? I don't think that the vibes can't be high.
No.
How could it be how could you I don't know. The Flames are struggling lately. They haven't been scoring, they haven't been getting saves, and heading into that third period, they got both of those. So the vibes are probably pretty high going into the third period.
Yeah.
That comeback staged by Dallas, I was almost rooting for him. I almost found myself being damn, they're really going to do it. They're really going to do it.
Yeah, just typical. I mean, Dallas waiting to the third to show up. It's been the tail of the tape for 3 years for them. And Calgary starting off strong. It's been the tail of the tape for this season. Just really typical hockey from each team. Just, I don't know if anyone's buzzing coming out of that, even scoring those goals where it's hey, guys, we'll get them next time. Good comeback. No one can feel good. Just bad vibes all in that.
No, I like you and I were talking about before we hopped on here. I feel like I need a stiff drink, drink after that one. That it put me through the ringer. And one of my buddies was messaging me right before the third period, and he goes, "Here comes that 5-goal comeback. Here comes that Calgary Flames collapse." Because it's something they do. They haven't been able to. They're able to get a lead, but maintaining it and holding on to it and carrying it out through a full 60 is cliche. That using that hockey cliche, full 60. And I don't know if it was they just collapsed or if Dallas just put on a full press. And full credit to Dallas, man. That was a whale of a third period. They were the better team in that final 20. But I guess from a Dallas perspective, your thoughts on the whole game from Calgary, but specifically that third period when they almost let it slip by.
I think Wedge had a bad day. I think it was a rough day to be Wedgie. Rough day at the office. And, I'm sure that's going through his head. I had a lot of moments probably probably a few of those I probably could have stopped, and the results would have been different. So, I mean, as far as just what to take away from a team, not too much. Calgary, solid team. Maybe even underperforming. I still see very likely some postseason from them.
Yeah, and it's kind of been the story all year with Calgary. Just a team that went through shit in the offseason, like hell and back. Like, talk about the emotional roller coaster of being a Flames fan and dealing with the Matthew Tkachuk fiasco, but before that, dealing with the Johnny Gaudreau going to fucking Ohio.
That has to hurt.
Is Ohio even real?
Oh, he's my favorite player actually in the NHL. So, like, I actually used to watch a good amount of Calgary games, but I'm not gonna watch Ohio hockey.
No, ain't nobody gonna watch that basement dwelling team. Anyway, we're not gonna. It's not game over Columbus. It's game over Calgary. But yeah, the ups and downs, and like everybody's still trying to figure out what Huberdeau is. He signs that $10.5 million extension in the offseason. That hasn't kicked in. It kicks in next year, but definitely not the 115-point player he's been, or he was last year, I guess. Excuse me. But yeah, like, not super visible tonight. I think he was in on a couple plays, but I actually should probably check to see how many points he did finish with. I feel like the stats probably don't dictate like how well I thought Huberdeau played tonight.
He was blending in.
I don't think I don't think he was a passenger, but I don't think he was a game changer by any stretch here. And he'll finish
bad or good.
Yeah, he finishes the night with 2 assists, 1 shot, 1 hit, 14-21 of ice time, and then just a whole bunch of zeros in the rest of the columns here on the score app. But yeah, I mean, it's tough. The Flames have been through shit, and now everybody, I feel like everybody just wants them to replicate what they had last year, and that's not going to be the case. There's no Matthew Tkachuk, there's no Johnny Gaudreau. It's a different team, it is
a very different team, yeah.
But one thing that was constant is that the Dallas Stars were a thorn in Calgary's side. This is the first time these two teams have met up since the infamous 7 games.
Since.
Yeah, and it didn't take any. I don't know if you followed. Did you follow along with what like Calgary was doing during that playoff series against Dallas last year? Like on Flames and Hockey Reddit, like NHL Reddit.
Nothing's sticking out to me.
They were doing so Flames fans were like trying to voodoo curse Jake Ottinger. So they were posting they were posting like these like syllabics of like satanic fucking language, whatever you want to call it. And then just like putting Jake Ottinger hockey in it, and it's just a picture of him with like the devil and shit like that. We didn't need to get to that extreme today.
No.
But you can tell these two teams, there's no love lost. Lots of crashing and banging, and some pretty high scoring game when it's all said and done.
Exactly. And like, as you mentioned, you don't watch like a ton of hockey or Dallas hockey because it's just a weird city to get tuned into internationally. But one thing that I'd say is there was good numbers today in the barn, and that is just absolutely crediting how bitter Dallas fans are. Dallas Cowboys, Mavericks, Stars, they remember. They do. Remember. They lose sleep over this stuff. So they filled up the barn, and for Dallas, that's always cool to see. I mean, tickets can be like $10, man.
That it? Is that it?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Real cheap, real cheap.
You know what? For like that place was pretty loud today. Like I was impressed with the noise. Thing.
I mean, I'm not originally from Dallas, Texas. I don't know if I've told you that. I went to college in New York City, and I always said if I get this degree, because they say college is the best 4 years of your life. It was tough. That shit sucked. I was like, I'm gonna move to a city and be a diehard sports fan for something. Went to a Dallas Stars game, and that atmosphere, I was really impressed. Really, impressed.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on Flames fans. Maybe I'm just like in this state of being a bitter Flames fan. I don't know. But the Scotiabank Saddledome, where the Calgary Flames play, I love to dub it the Silent Dome because it is quiet on the best of nights. The Calgary Flames.
It's pricey, right?
It's not terrible. It's actually not bad. I don't know. I think I grew up in Ontario, so like I was an hour from Toronto, and those tickets are fucking expensive. Like,
but it gets loud.
But it gets
right?
yeah, it's all right. Like the vibe in Toronto compared to any other market I've been in, like a lot of suits. Like there's a lot of it's very corporate.
Corporate.
Yeah, it's very corporate. But they're passionate. The fans.
Yeah.
Sorry. They're passionate for their team. They show it. They cheer. They boo. Even Ottawa, lived in Ottawa during the good years. Mark Stone, Jean-Gabriel Pageau, Alfredson was there for a bit. Carlson, I saw Heatley play there. Like, it was a good time. Ooh. And yeah, it was loud too. But like, I come to Calgary and I'm like, man, why is it so damn quiet in the silent or the there I go call it the Saddle Dome. The Saddle Dome. It's crazy, but it's nice to see these markets like Dallas where you get you know, like you say, your tickets are cheap because they want to fill people up. But I feel like you get your passionate fans that way. Like it's a passion thing.
It's mailmen, mechanics. It's really just blue collar in that arena all the way until you get to like the lower bowl, and those are typically sold nightly. And it's like a mother with her kid, and someone's like, "That call is horse shit, right?"
Yeah,
and she's just like, oh, just having this. I don't sit in the lower. Like they can't let me down there. Like it's
too classy. Too classy for you.
I don't belong down there. A lot of peacoats and not top hats. Yeah, there's fucking top hats down there. No, it is. It's just too much for my blood. You got to sit up with the peasants. Really rock the arena. It's the only way to play a game out.
It's kind of like the Flames have the press level. So it's like because it's a saddle dome. It's shaped like a saddle. Brilliant, right? So like up in the top part of the saddle is like the rowdy. Yeah, you got to look this up as like it's shaped like you're gonna laugh. It's literally it's shaped like a saddle.
It is. It looks cool as hell though.
It is, but it's not like the most optimal facility for concerts when your acoustics are all fucked up or when you can't hang certain. Like I went to a concert at the Saddle Dome. That it was who was it? Eric Church, country guy. And he puts on a pretty good show, but he couldn't we got a big snowstorm the night before. And because the roof caves in, there was so much snow that the structural integrity of the roof wouldn't allow for him to hang his speakers. So he had to do an all-acoustic show, which was cool as hell and intimate as hell.
That is nice.
That's
sweet. The most Canadian problem I've ever heard.
Right?
That's actually incredible.
Yeah. Before we go any further talking about this game, the Calgary Flames winning 6-5 over the Dallas Stars. Let's have a look. 44 people in chat right now. And you know what, people? Like, I haven't been an NHL YouTuber for a couple years, but I know that the algorithm works. Hit the like button. Share the stream with your friends on social media. Get more Stars fans in here. Get more Flames fans in here. And let's continue the great conversation that we're having here. Okay, let's start here. Let's go with God, that was stressful from our producer, Robert. Yes, that was a very stressful game. I had heart palpitations the entire time. Just saw a tweet. The Flames have blown a league worst 25 leads this year. That's from Conrad saying, and then he follows that up with 25 leads the Calgary Flames have blown this year. So that tells you everything. That tells you everything you need to know about how this year has gone for the, and they're still in it. And this is the crazy thing about it. We're so critical as Flames fans. They're still in a playoff spot right now. It's a wild card spot. They definitely want to try to sneak in and be one of those three in the Pacific. But this is still a team that's like on the cusp of a playoff. You know, they're in the playoff picture. They're like one good streak away from kind of things clicking, but we've constantly been waiting for that to happen. Have you guys had that like in Dallas yet? Because like from the outside looking in, Dallas has been like for my money, like you got Jason Robertson, who I put a futures bet on to win MVP. Not looking so good right now because of that guy up in Edmonton. But either way, showing love to him. Like this team is good. Like let's not sugarcoat it. This team is good. Have you had like a stretch where it's been like shit, man? Like this team needs to fucking figure this thing out.
Definitely. And it was in the later years of Lindy Ruff. That's like kind of when I came out here, and it just seemed like the team was so solid, and we just couldn't get it out of, first round of playoffs and everything. And it, I've just watched this team progress. And you mentioned Robertson, and it's worth mentioning it's Robertson, Otter, and Miro, 2017 draft. And that's the year where things kind of started to change. And all these young men have been under Lindy. They've been under Hitchcock, who's, I don't know, maybe selling sporting goods somewhere. They've been under Montgomery, Bonus, and now they're under Pete. And, how's Rick doing with Winnipeg? Awesome. How's Jim doing with Boston? I knew that was going to go nuts.
Oh, that was a no-brainer. He's so good.
He did great in the locker room. He completely changed the way that the Stars move the rock. I knew it was a shame how he went out in Dallas, and we're never gonna find out exactly what happened.
No, it's unfortunate, but I guess whatever it was, I'm glad that it came out on top for him.
Exactly, and exactly. Everyone deserves that second chance, and it seems like he's running with that. Seems like a really good dude, lovable dude. So just seeing these young guys come in and having people like Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin just sucking up your salary cap, underperforming, but these are talented hockey players nonetheless. They've gotten to progress under guys like that, under all those coaches who are all finding success in their own ways. So it really points back to the organization. The problem was the players. I wouldn't even say the leaders. They're all doing good elsewhere. So that frustration is starting to get over. I think Jason Robertson wanted to fight for that paycheck, really showing up late this year. I think that stamps it down that these young guys are like, look, if we perform, we're going to make that money. Starting to kind of shove those older guys out that are taking that cap and not really performing. That frustration's starting to wear off. I think this team's got legs for years.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited about it, definitely. But it's taken some frustrating years to get to that optimism that I have now. But I've seen it in the making. Now we're starting to eat what we got to bake, so it's not bad.
I think Flames fans can relate to that. The dark years of the Young Guns era, and then just the mediocrity since the Flames Cup run in 2004, when Mika Kiprasov came over and he just kind of stole the show, and he was, he was him, and led that team to a Cup final. But you know what? If there's any optimism, I think that a lot of Flames fans have it. There's people like me who come on here and get paid to talk shit, but that's because we never get to talk about good things when I host. So I'm just happy. I'm happy we get to cover a win. I know that maybe you could be happy that it was a good game. It was a damn good. It was an entertaining. From a consumer standpoint, it was a damn good game, man.
Good game.
If that was the first hockey game someone ever watched, that would be a good way to be like, shit. This game is this 100%. Hockey thing is So there's some positives to take if you're Dallas.
For sure.
Insider J Money saying, LOL, I'm sorry for it being my fault. Somebody saying, you've been fighting, Auddie, busted knuckles. No, it's called working in construction and just using a grinder against concrete and bunging up your knuckles. So,
I thought the same thing. I'm
a lover. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I promise you this is not from a fight, because if it was, this moneymaker of mine would be looking worse than these knuckles. I'll tell you that much for free. No fights over here. No fights over here. I can promise you that. A lot of people saying the legend OJKB. People happy to see you. People saying drinks are available on them because it was a game worth consumption of drinks for both of us.
Yes.
People saying McDavid is boring. He's boring, but he's fucking good. He's good. Someone saying, speaking of Mika Kiprasov, I think Sutter needs to ride Vladar and give Markstrom the Roman Turek treatment. Yeah, so that's another thing that the Flames. If you looked at all the games, I can't remember what the tweet was. So either way, the tweet was directed at the Flames just need a couple more saves. And up until this point, Jacob Markstrom has had a rough year following finishing second in Vezina voting. But as you saw today, Dan Vladar kind of found his feet again, and the Flames have been riding with him. So it's going to be an interesting conversation here in Calgary pretty soon about if you keep riding Vladar and run like a 1A, 1B, or if you try to keep getting Markstrom back in and him to find his feet. I think they've done their best on trying to get Markstrom to kick his ass in gear. But all in all, like a pretty damn good game aside from, some breakdowns in their own end from Dan Vladar tonight. Like, what did you think of the Flames netminder?
Thought he held his own. I think a lot of what went in at the end, maybe that Tyler Seguin wrister that kind of got set up in the slot there. Maybe that one could have gotten stopped. He had come out deep on that puck. He was taking a good angle. Just as I was like looking at these guys' stats, I was just about to hit the math here and see what is he facing shots a game. He's got an 893 up there.
Who, Markstrom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lot. Like it's not indicative.
22, like 23 rounding up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's about average, right?
Yeah, that's I average low end. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's definitely and he's been on the record. He said it before. I think his direct quote was, "I just fucking suck at hockey right now." And that was after like a loss to the. It was after a loss. So like it a lot of it could be between the years. Like we know that this game is like a lot mentally, especially in net. Yeah. So like it gets tricky. So I hope he figures it out. But it's nice to see that the markets that we are, like the Stars Elite, like bringing you in and like bringing other people in from other markets saying like, okay, yeah, Vladar kind of like held his own, which it's nice to see. It's good to see because they're going to need him. It's the fact of the matter. They're going to need him. Some more comments here. Working in construction equals mob gangster. I'm definitely not that cool. I am. My mom's whole side of the family is Italian, but I'm definitely not that cool. So, or that badass. Kaya May in here. What's up? That's we got our host of Game Over Vancouver in here. So everybody go say hello to Kaya. It says love Dan Vladar. We all love Dan Vladar. We all love our boy Dan Vladar. And Conrad saying, oh, but Daryl rides his starters. Okay, Vladar should be the starter. Make him your prize pony. There you go. And I gotta say, Luch didn't anger me this game, and the regulars in this chat know that's rare. That's one of the. Yes, I see that shit-eating grin on your face.
I love Luch.
Everybody loves Lucci. Okay. This is a good point, a good talking point then. A lot of people love Lucic, and I have no gripes with the man. I think he has me blocked on Twitter because I've talked some smack, but that's okay. Who isn't blocked by? Yeah, okay. It's kind of a long story. So my frustration is with where Daryl Sutter is deploying him, and I've said this from the start. I have no gripes with Milan Lucic. I am actually consider myself a fan of Milan Lucic, even before he came to Calgary. Loved him in Boston, loved him in LA. My issue is, and it's because he name searches. So he'll search his name and see what people are talking about, and then he blocks them.
Oh.
Yeah, half the Flames fan base on Twitter is blocked by Milan Lucic. So anyways, that explains the blocking. But my frustration is Milan Lucic at his ripe age of 33 or 34, whatever he is, has, that body's got some hard, I'll put in American terms, hard miles on it, not kilometers, hard miles on it. And, he's not quite the player he once was. He's not the guy who's going to park his ass in front of the net on the power play and tap in garbage goals. He's got no foot speed. The game's evolving around him. And that sounds like a perfect spot for someone to play on the fourth line. They got him playing with Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri on the second line.
For what? I didn't even catch that.
Jonathan Huberdeau, Nazem Kadri down the middle, Milan Lucic on the other wing is how it's been deployed for the better part of this season under Daryl Sutter, because he rides his veterans.
There's a lot of size. There's a lot of size on it. There's meat.
Yeah, but there's no speed, and there's nothing else. There's size and what? He's not great with the and again, this isn't the Milan Lucic roast. I think he could be an effective fourth liner on this team.
Yeah,
I think he could be an effective fourth liner on most teams, right?
Yeah,
like he could probably be a serviceable fourth line guy.
Exactly.
But they're riding him
power play or anything. Yeah.
But they're riding him with Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri. The NHL All-Star selection for Calgary. Nazem Kadri.
That's awesome.
That's fucked up. You can say
crazy. That is. I did not realize that. I was like, yeah, like, I can't. I'm trying to not really bitch about people that are like fourth line, especially if they're kind of serving a role.
Yeah.
I see a player like him, like I'd love to have him. Second line, sir.
Yeah, it's I don't know. And at first we all thought it was Daryl Sutter's attempt to explain to management to send a message that they need another winger, need another scoring winger. And he just continued to stay on that second line. He just never, we're like, oh yeah, maybe it's just Daryl sending a message. And then we're like, oh, this is just Daryl Sutter being Daryl Sutter. He just loves his veterans, loves his over 6 foot, over 200 pound farm boys. And like, yeah. So Milan Lucic, I will say that recently has been putting up some points, but he's a product of his environment in the sense that, like, if you or I were on a wing with Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri, I'm damn certain one of us would get a couple points here and there, maybe a couple goals, a tap in. Like, all of his goals have been tap in. They've been nothing spectacular.
Nah.
And that's a problem because Daryl Sutter keeps seeing him put up points, and he's just going to keep putting him on the second line, despite the fact that they're getting burned. Anyway, I'm going down a rabbit hole, and I'm turning this into the Lucic roast because, like, fuck. Everybody who watches this show is just like, damn. Like, all this guy does is shit on the big man. And I'm not shitting on the big man. I'm shitting on his deployment. It's the coach that I have a gripe with. It's not 17. I have no problem with 17 in white. Anyway, people are just going to be getting sick of fucking hearing me run my mouth about Milan Lucic. But I'm glad to hear that you're a fan. He does have. I'm glad to hear he does have fans outside of the market.
By the way, that actually kind of reminded me. I had Ryan Reeves' brother talk shit to me on Twitter and then end up blocking me because I was talking shit about Ryan Reeves.
CFL superstar. What was his brother's name?
That was exactly what the fuck I called him, and he didn't really like that, man. When I talk shit about me being a content creator, I'm like, brother.
Really? You're playing in this
professional high school football.
Yeah, you're playing.
Want to hear nothing.
You're playing in the Canadian football. Like, even I have gripes with the Canadian Football League. I've been to one CFL game in my life in Canada, and I don't follow it. I'm an NFL fan through and through.
Can we name a CFL player that made it big in the NFL? I've got.
What? I can name one as of late because he was a Calgary Stampeders. I almost forgot their name. A Calgary Stampeders. I think he was a linebacker for them, and he ended up going and playing for the Eagles for a little bit. Now he's with the Broncos. But Alex Singleton played in the CFL for many years, and then got picked up. So who was yours?
Now I'm like getting like unsure, but Doug Flutie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Doug Flutie played in the CFL.
Oh, originally from Massachusetts. He's a god. Like,
and if you don't make it in the NFL, you just come to the CFL. That's what Tim Tebow did.
Yeah.
Or not Tim Tebow. No, fuck. Johnny Manziel. That's the other guy I'm thinking of. Johnny Manziel did that.
I hope he at least did good out there.
He did not. He got cut and then got picked up by another team, and then they released him, and then he went and played in the XFL for a year, and then the XFL folded.
Oh, so, yeah. That's always my favorite stuff.
The stock in Johnny Manziel just went, ew. Yeah, not good.
Man.
Love
it.
Not good.
Love it. His MMA arc is coming next.
Is that true?
No.
Oh, I thought you had some like insider info. I was like, holy fuck, are we breaking news?
Sounded confident.
Okay, we'll wrap things up here. We're just about at our mark here. Again, thank you everybody for stopping by and watching. We got a whole lot of messages in the chat that I've missed, but there's just so many good ones. So we'll try to read some of these last ones here as we put a bow on today's episode of Game Over Calgary on SDPN Sports. The Calgary Flames winning 6-5, a tight one over the Dallas Stars. Lucic threw 2 hits and had 11:21 of ice time, but otherwise put up zeros. That said, Dubé and Hannafin did worse on the plus-minus, respectively, -2 and -3. Yeah, not a great night on the plus-minus dasher for them, but Dylan Dubé, I think, taking a bit of some strides after Daryl Sutter said he was the most improved or most impressive Flame so far this year. So, before I read Kaya's here, someone's saying Daryl Sutter has been a good coach overall. The Flames outshoot their opponents like every night. It's not Sutter's fault that the Flames are not very offensive. Oh boy. Shot volume does not equal good chances. If you watch, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant, and I'm sorry. If you watch the Flames and when they put up 40 shots, how many shots are coming from the perimeter? How many of them are coming from high danger chances? Which, you know what? They did a good job getting to the front of the net tonight or today. You could agree they were crashing and banging in front of the net. But like when the Flames are putting up 45 shots a night, everybody's like, oh, damn, they just can't buy a goal. They're just like, they must be getting goalied. They're fucking shooting from the perimeter. 35 of those 40 shots are coming from the outside with no traffic in the breadbasket. It's the easiest save a goalie can make. And I'm getting angry because I'm sick of the fucking excuses about shot volume and how, oh, yeah, well, it's not Sutter's fault. Oh, yeah, okay, well, that's the same excuse he uses. Oh, our top-end guys don't perform. It's because your top-end guys don't get to high-danger areas. Sure, shot volume's great if you're putting up high-quality shots. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I'm so fucking sick and tired of that excuse. I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, they outshoot their opponent every night. How is it Sutter's fault? There's another one, back-to-back. Flames' offense in general is weak. Coach can't fix that. All right, so I guess we found Daryl Sutter's burner on Game Over Calgary. Sorry, I'm not trying to attack whoever's comment that was, but like, fuck, man, I'm so tired of that excuse. Anyways, Kaya saying, Lucic for Garland, basically same vibe. Garland is just much smaller. Deal. I'll take that deal all day. If you as a Canucks fan want to trade me on Lucic for Connor Garland, I will take that deal. I'll take that deal all day. Conrad saying Johnny Manziel versus Jake or Logan Paul.
I'm a big fan.
I would fuck with that.
God, yeah.
This guy's saying, dude, it matters over a long term. I'm not even going to go down the rabbit hole of answering the shot volume thing. Anyways, let's put a bow on it, man. This was awesome. I'm going to lose you in this Zoom call soon, but I appreciate you coming on. This has been good. Awesome. Long time in the making. I messaged you so long ago, and I'm like, I hope to God he remembered, because like I had this one penciled on the calendar to look forward to it. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Of course. Hey, before you go, shameless plug. Just tell everybody what you're up to, where they can find you, and all the wonderful stuff you're doing.
Absolutely. You guys can find my Twitch channel. I'm a full-time streamer over there, OGKevinBacon. I'm in the Maximum Top 100. You're going to see that hit some shelves here soon. And if you guys are into firemen, I'm going to be in the New York City Fireman catalog. In the magazine, I'm going to be Mr. October. They call me Mr. October, world on my shoulders, real strong man shit. Thanks for having me, brother.
Thanks, as always, for your time. And thank you to everybody for stopping by and watching. Be sure, if you're listening on playback, to follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Give it a rating. And we will talk to you on the next Game Over Calgary. I believe it's going to be Peter Klein hosting that one, but we will double check. Anyways, thank you so much for stopping by, everybody. We'll talk to you after the next Calgary Flames game here on SDPN Sports. Game Over Calgary, presented by Sports Interaction.
Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.